Sister-in-law was slowly climbing the stairs wearing a red nightie. I had seen this scene many times before, but today sister-in-law's condition was such that I was surprised that in such a condition, what was the need for her to go to the roof? At first I thought that maybe she was scared of the heat and went to the roof for fresh air. But today, the way she was climbing the stairs with her feet pressed against my heart, I had a suspicion that the matter was something else. Then sister-in-law's beauty was such that when I saw her, my feet would automatically be drawn towards her. Even now, when I saw her heading towards the roof in a netted nightie, my heart became unfaithful. She was my brother's wife, but her beauty drove me crazy. I thought that if she was going to the roof just for fresh air, why not spend some time with her? I felt that there might be some problem between her and my brother. For some days, I had been looking at my brother very absent-mindedly. If it was really like that, and there was some kind of quarrel going on between the two of them, if I had shown sympathy, I could have offered my shoulder to her and gotten close to her. So I also followed her to the roof, but instead of staying in the open air, my sister-in-law had gone to a small room on the roof. I also followed her. When I reached the door of this room, I came to my senses after seeing the scene inside, because my sister-in-law had gone to the room on the roof and opened it very quickly with her own hands. It was rainy season. It was raining lightly. There was a loud knock on the door. I recognized the sound of the knock well. It was my brother's knock. Amma said, "Go and open the door quickly. Your brother will get wet right at the door." I quickly ran towards the door because if my brother had really gotten completely wet in the rain, Amma would have told me a lot because my brother was very dear to Amma. But as soon as I opened the door, I was surprised because my brother was not alone. My eyes were drawn to the girl standing with her brother at the door. She was so beautiful and graceful that I couldn't help but stare at her. My brother drew my attention with a loud voice and said, "Why are you hanging on two doors instead of coming inside?" I quickly moved to the side and made room for him. At the same time, I asked my brother who this was. When I heard what my brother said in response, the sky fell on my head. My brother said, "This is your sister-in-law. I have married her." I did not believe my brother's words because he was already engaged. How could he marry someone else? And suddenly, where did my brother get this girl? Because my brother had never said anything like this at home. He was a very obedient son of my mother. He would not even breathe if my mother did not ask. So how did he suddenly get married and come home? My brother kept entering the house holding his wife's hand, and I quickly followed him because I knew what would happen now and what I had thought happened. It was obvious that my mother could not remain silent after seeing such an obedient son get married right away. Mother was sitting on the sofa in the lounge, making her pawn. Without raising her head, she said, "My child has come. Go and change your clothes. I will tell my sister to make you some hot kava. Don't let it happen that you catch a cold." Brother licked his dry lips and spoke to mother with great difficulty. At his voice, mother looked up and was shocked to see another girl with her brother. Then brother told her about his marriage. At first, mother thought that brother's words were a joke and said, "Be careful. If you are joking with me, tell me who this is and why you have brought her home." But brother repeated his words again, saying, "She is my wife." Hearing that brother had performed a court marriage, mother became angry and then said, "Aren't you ashamed to do such a thing in front of your mother? Your mother died. Did you go to court and get married? I don't know where you got her from. A woman who follows such a path cannot become the daughter-in-law of my family. I didn't raise you for this day, so you brought a foreign girl over me and imposed it on me. I will not accept your wife, so leave her back, otherwise I will think that you have died for me." After hearing what my mother said, we siblings got very worried because my brother was older and my mother was very fond of him. Then how could my mother do this to him? My brother probably didn't expect that my mother would adopt such a strict attitude. The brother sat at the feet of his mother and said, "I told you, mother, that I should not marry Shakila, but you were stubborn. I was forced to marry her out of choice. Now accept my wife and me." The mother gave the brother a push and said, "What will I answer my sister? Since childhood, I have been telling Shakila that you will become my daughter-in-law. Now what will I tell her that my son has married someone else? Because of you, I have become a sinner in the eyes of my sister and my niece. So take this woman and go somewhere." Brother sat down and cried, "Mom, I am your very good son, But I could not leave Noreen. It was not possible for me to marry anyone else. I have saved Shakila's life from ruin. If I had married her, I would probably never have been able to make her happy. Brother tried hard to convince Mom, but Mom did not listen and said, "If you want me to forgive you, divorce your wife right now in this very moment. Leave her back where you took her from." Brother flatly refused and said, "I married Noreen with great love. I made her my wife knowing God as my witness. How can I divorce her?" Mom said, "Then I do not even give you the right to carry my funeral." Looking at us siblings, Mom shouted, "If I die, do not let her even see my dead face." Then Mom pushed her brother out of the house. Our elder brother Ayaz is expelled from our house forever. We were amazed and watched all this. We had never thought that the son without whom mother could not get a word out would be thrown out of the house for Shakila. My younger sister sat at her feet and said, "How will we live without a brother?" After father's death, elder brother was our only support. "Why have you done this injustice to him? He doesn't want to marry Shakila, so you should stop him, Aunt. Shakila will miss out on so many relationships." Mother looked at us all with hatred and said, "Shakila is my child like you people. My sister is my life. When she comes to know that I have ruined her honor, she will never forgive me. A girl has lived in my son's name all her life, and now if I say that my son has married someone else, I would rather die." Mother held her head and started crying. I gestured to my younger sister to be quiet. I could understand that Amma was in pain at that moment. But then Amma's next words shook my heart. She said, "I will tell Auntie to get Shakila married to Irfan instead of Ayaz. At least the girl won't be disgraced. Otherwise, everyone will ask why Auntie's son refused at the last minute. Now there are only 6 months left for the wedding. The date has been set. Both sides are ready." As soon as I heard Amma's words, I was shocked. I told Amma, "For God's sake, don't sacrifice me. My brother has married for love. So what is my fault in this? I can't marry Shakila. I have been looking at her all my life as a sister-in-law. Why would I marry her? She is older than me." Amma looked at me angrily and said, "Shakila is my sister's daughter. I am my own blood. I will not let her be disgraced like this. She is only 4 years older than you, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. Now Shakila will be married to you." Then Amma said to her younger sister, "Go and get a chador. I will go to Farkunda's house right now and tell her that Shakila will now become my daughter-in-law, but not for Ayaz, but for Irfan." The younger sister was shocked, sometimes looking at me and sometimes at Amma. I did not understand why Amma was making this rash decision. Neither Shakila and I had any connection, nor was my heart satisfied with this relationship. From childhood till now, she was associated with the name of brother. I had only seen her through the eyes of a sister-in-law. Then how could I marry her? I also sat at Amma's feet. I said, "For God's sake, do not put the burden of brother's mistakes on my head. Do not do this injustice to me. This will not only be injustice to me, but also to Shakila because she also loves her brother. How can she accept me as her husband?" But Amma did not accept the idea that came to her mind. Brother had also been forbidding me from marrying Shakila for a long time. But Amma did not take her words seriously, which resulted in her choosing a marriage. Now Amma wanted to make a wrong decision to tie Shakila to me. I told my mother clearly that I will not marry Shakila, and like my brother, I will also leave the house. My mind was going crazy with anger. I had to hear that my mother pushed me out of the house with 2 pushes and said, "Go away so that I can tell the world that my 2 sons are dead, and now I am helpless. Both of you go and live the life you want. Even if I die, don't come back." I tried to explain to my mother, but she had closed the door. I walked tiredly and reached the bus stop. My brother and sister-in-law were standing there waiting for the car. I went to my brother and he said, "Take care of your mother." I looked at him sadly and told him that my mother had also thrown me out of the house. He was very surprised to hear this and asked, "Why did your mother throw you out of the house?" I told him that my mother wanted to marry Shakila to me, and I refused. He became depressed after hearing this. They said, "Come on, you too. Come with me. We will both stay away for a few days. Then Amma will get well on her own. She wants to force Shakila to adorn her forehead." Shakila is not capable of anything. Neither is she educated, nor is she conscious. He knows nothing except household chores. He doesn't even know the outside world. Who likes such girls these days? I kept quiet after listening to my brother's words. My brother had called a taxi. After a while, the taxi arrived. He also made me sit with him, and then we left. My brother told me that he had already rented a house because he knew that Amma would not accept his new wife. But he didn't know that she would push my brother out with me. I smiled and said that I have also left the house because of you. Now what will happen to the house behind? We were the only two brothers. Amma and two sisters were left in the house. My brother said, "Don't worry. I have already told the neighbors. I will take care of Amma and the sisters. It's just a matter of a few days. Amma's day will be a day of forgiveness. Shakila's ghost will go away on its own. Till then, we will spend it together. Then if we go back and apologize, Amma will forgive us herself." My brother had shown me a new path. I was equal to my brother with one look. I sat down and threw it at the woman who was now my sister-in-law, and in my heart I started to praise my brother's choice. It seemed as if he had chosen a maiden from heaven for himself. There was nothing better than Shakila Noreen, my sister-in-law. I kept secretly looking at her and sighing. I wished that a woman like her would join my life. But Amma wanted to impose this Shakila on me, whom I did not approve of even as a sister-in-law. A wife was a very distant thing. Shakila was a very ordinary girl who, apart from being a housewife, was very good at doing things here and there. She used to give Amma the news of the whole neighborhood, and she was also Amma's favorite because Amma could get the news of every corner sitting at home because of her, and because of this habit of hers. Both my brother and I disliked her, but we could not tell her this openly. My brother had taken a small rented house. It was a two-room house, one of which was a small living room. A staircase was going up to the roof. It was suitable for my brother and sister-in-law, but I had also grown attached to them. So my brother gave me the second room and said, "It will be a matter of a few days, we will manage it. Until then, Amjad will take care of Amma." Amjad Bhai was not only a neighbor, but also a close friend of his brother. Brother had complete trust in him. That is why brother had put the responsibility of mother and sisters on his shoulders. Noreen Bahabi set up the house a little and then came to me and said, "Forgive me, you have also been thrown out of the house because of me." I was against this court marriage, but Ayaz did not believe me. He said, "Mother will not agree to the relationship. If we do a court marriage, she will accept this marriage sooner or later." Noreen Babi's voice was sweet as honey. I kept listening to her, and then she said, "Don't worry, I am with you and brother, and one day mother will definitely accept you. I am sure of this." My mother is not bad at heart. She just loves Sheila very much. Hearing my words, Noreen Babi felt a little relieved. Then she herself went to the kitchen and started cooking food, etc. Brother had brought all the goods. I did not do any job, so the next day when brother went to work, I sat at home all day. It was also vacation time in college. I kept going back and forth with Noreen Babi and talking to her. She told me that she used to work in her brother's office, and they both fell in love with each other. After marriage, my brother made her quit her job, and that's why she would now take care of the household. By evening, I realized that she really had a beautiful heart and a beautiful face. That's why my brother had married her. Then gradually, I started getting close to Noreen Bibi. I liked her so much that I started thinking that I also want a girl like that. Sometimes my heart wanted to hold her hand and sit next to me and share everything that was in my heart with her. I would stare at her face for hours, but I didn't have that courage. The week passed like this, and then one night I came out of my room and saw Noreen Babi climbing the stairs to the roof. I looked at the clock and saw that it was 2 in the morning. I was surprised. What was she doing on the roof so late at night? But then I thought that maybe she had gone to the roof for fresh air. I ignored this and went to the room with water. I was feeling very sleepy. I fell asleep as soon as I lay down on the bed, and I didn't pay attention to it again. But 2 days later, I saw the same scene again, and I didn't understand what Noreen Babi was doing on the roof so late at night. Then I felt that my brother's attitude was a bit strained. He was not talking to Noreen Babi properly, but there was a feeling of awkwardness between the two of them. I had not even seen them sitting and eating together. Otherwise, they would have sat and eaten together. I felt that I could take advantage of the quarrel between them. I was a young man. Emotions were boiling in my heart. I longed to be with someone. That's why I started following my sister-in-law around the house. I asked her about her brother many times, but she didn't tell me anything that would make me suspect a quarrel between them. Then the next night, when my sister-in-law started walking to the terrace again, I kept an eye on her, and seeing the opportunity, I followed her to the terrace. She was wearing a very beautiful nightie. She was showing off her anger, and my heart wanted to go ahead and hug her in my arms. I followed her to the roof and saw that she had entered a small room on the roof. I also followed her, and as soon as I peeked inside through the open door of the store, my senses were blown away. Bobby took out some things from her nightie with her own hands and started putting them in the room. The things were very strange. Some dill, some lemons, chilies, etc. Seeing this, my soul went out. I knew the meaning of these things very well. Then she sat right there on the floor in front of me and spread all these things out and started studying. Seeing this, my soul went out, and I entered the room screaming in anger and said, "What is this? What are you doing?" I felt like she was casting a spell on my brother. Maybe that is why my brother had married her in such a hurry. Seeing me, Mariam Bobby's senses went out. She started saying, "Irfan, what are you doing here?" I said angrily. "Tell me, what are you doing in the dark in the middle of the night?" She stood up in fear for a moment and then folded her hands in front of me and said, "Speak slowly. Ayaz should not know your voice." I said angrily that I will show my brother your real face and tell him that you are a magician and are casting a spell on him. My sister-in-law started crying and said, "I am not a magician. The magician is your cousin who has made my life a torment." I looked at my sister-in-law in surprise and asked, "What are you talking about?" "Who are you talking about?" My sister-in-law said, "She is your aunt's daughter, whom your brother was going to marry. She has made life difficult for us. Your brother has been having strange and frightening dreams for the past few days. He feels scared when he comes near me. He does not come near me or talk to me. He has completely turned his back on me. When I try to talk to him, he says that my health is deteriorating." I gradually started to feel strange about all these things, and then a few days ago, I told an acquaintance about this. She was a very kind-hearted woman. My mother had an old relative. After listening to everything, she cast a horoscope and told me that your cousin is casting a spell on your brother, and because of her spell, your brother will divorce me very soon. I got worried after hearing this, and then I am breaking the spell that your cousin has cast on us in the way that the same woman told me. My married life is getting ruined. Your brother does not talk to me, and maybe you are also aware of this. My sister-in-law sat at my feet and said, "For God's sake, take care of me. This is all in your hands. Don't say anything to your brother." I supported my sister-in-law and said, "Don't worry, I will talk to my brother. He is intelligent, educated, and will understand what I am saying. Trust is the first thing in a relationship. I will tell him that black magic is being cast on you and an attempt is being made to break your relationship. We have to take some steps against this in the right way. Today you will break this spell temporarily. Then tomorrow you will do the same again. Everything will be fine." Sister-in-law was afraid that brother might not believe this, but at that moment I woke brother up from sleep and told him the whole story. For some time he was stunned, but then he believed. The next day brother brought home an elder he knew, and then he also told what sister-in-law had said. Indeed, black magic had been cast on brother and sister-in-law, and the one who cast this spell was none other than Shakila. She was so crazy about brother that she did not understand that if brother liked someone else, how could he keep her happy? She was an illiterate, ignorant girl who had learned to play politics with her mother all her life. She was ruining sister-in-law's life. My sister-in-law was very worried, and seeing this, I felt ashamed that I wanted to take advantage of her worry. Sister-in-law and brother together started breaking her spell. In a few days, their relationship improved when news came from home that Shakila's condition was very bad, and she was bedridden. The spell was broken, and her spell was reversed on her. Amma was very worried and was praying for her life. Amma felt that all this had happened because of her brother. My younger sister had conveyed this news to us. My brother and I both went home, and we told Amma the truth about Shakila. At first, Amma did not believe it at all. She started cursing her brother, But then Amma also believed because Shaquila's condition was getting worse, and she used to say strange things while unconscious. She had also confessed to many of her sins. After that, Amma's heart had completely turned against Shaquila. Amma herself had brought Bobby to our house. She had forgiven her brother and me too. Bobby had conquered everyone's hearts with her love and desire, while Shaquila was still suffering from her bad habits. She was bedridden due to this. She had many diseases, but there was no name for these diseases because these diseases were not medical diseases, but rather spiritual diseases which were due to the reversal of magic. Today, my sister-in-law is living a very good life in our house. My relationship with one of her cousins has become strong. My mother also realized that she made a mistake by fixing our relationship in childhood. Childhood relationships sometimes become a burden after growing up. Finally, I would like to tell you all that childhood relationships become unsustainable, and there is no strength in them. Sometimes after growing up, children change their choice, their heart, their decision. That is why the future of their children should not be made a victim of difficulties by getting into relationships at a young age.